Did Mark's reintegration fail in Severance Season 2? Hey everyone, today, we're diving deep into one of the biggest mysteries of Severance Season 2. And trust me, this one is going to shake up everything we thought we knew. So, grab your coffee, sit tight, and let's talk about Mark's reintegration. Did it actually fail? Or is there more to the story than we think? Alright, let's rewind a little. We all remember how Season 1 ended, right? That crazy cliffhanger where Mark realizes Gemma is alive inside Lumon? I mean, come on. That moment alone sent chills down my spine. But it also set up the stage for Season 2 in the most mind-blowing way possible. Mark now has a desperate, emotional, heart-wrenching reason to go through with reintegration. But here's the thing. It doesn't go as smoothly as we expected. In fact, by the end of Season 2, we're left wondering, did it even work at all? Let's break it down. First, we need to talk about Reintegration. She's been the key figure behind the reintegration process. She convinced Petey to go through with it in Season 1, and we all saw what happened there. Petey died. And not in a peaceful way. It was painful, confusing, terrifying. And Mark saw it all. So naturally, when Reintegration approaches him with the same offer, Mark is hesitant. Who wouldn't be? The only example he has of reintegration is a dead man. But then, she drops the biggest bombshell: Gemma is alive. And that changes everything for Mark. In that instant, his entire world shifts. The grief he's carried, the belief that his wife was gone forever, suddenly, it's all in question. Now, it's not just about uncovering the truth behind Lumon's operations, it's about saving the person he thought he had lost. The emotional weight of that realization is crushing, but it fuels a new determination in him. That's enough motivation for him to take the leap. So, he agrees, stepping into the unknown with nothing but hope and desperation driving him forward. At first, it seems like it's working. Mark starts experiencing flashes. His innie and outie start overlapping in ways they never have before. It's subtle but noticeable. He catches glimpses of memories he shouldn't have, emotions that feel foreign yet familiar. It's like puzzle pieces starting to snap into place. And for a brief moment, we actually believe it might be successful. But then, things take a turn. The flashes become violent, disorienting. His mind feels like it's being torn apart rather than stitched together. The more he remembers, the more his brain seems to reject it. The pain becomes unbearable, and suddenly, what felt like progress spirals into something far more dangerous. Reintegration, in her desperation, floods Mark's chip with information. She accelerates the process, pushing beyond safe limits. And that's where things get dangerous. Instead of a smooth reintegration, Mark's mind is thrown into chaos. Memories crash into each other like waves in a storm. His sense of self fractures. His innie and outie fight for dominance, neither one fully in control. He experiences overlapping realities, moments from his two lives blending together in terrifying and incoherent ways. He barely survives. And worse? He still doesn't fully reintegrate. Instead, he exists in a horrifying in-between state, unsure of who he really is. So what does this mean? Has Reintegration failed? Has the entire concept of reintegration been a lie? Or is it something far more complex, something we haven't fully understood yet? Could reintegration be working in a way that we simply don't recognize? Or worse, could Lumon have designed it to fail from the start, ensuring that no one ever truly escapes their control? The deeper we dive, the more unsettling the answers become. Well, let's think about it. So far, Reintegration has a 0% success rate. Petey? Dead. Mark? Still split. That's not great. And here's where things get even more suspicious. Why is she still so convinced that it works? Is she genuinely convinced, or is she just refusing to admit failure? And why is she still pushing it, despite the evidence against it? Could she be hiding something? Or worse, could she have a different agenda altogether? What if reintegration isn't about freedom, but about something much darker? What if Reintegration's experiments have been manipulated from the start, and she doesn't even realize it? And let's not forget about Gobel. If there's anyone who might actually have the answers, it's her. She's the one who's been playing both sides, manipulating, controlling, and most importantly understanding the Severance process better than anyone else. She doesn't just know how Severance works, she understands its flaws, its weaknesses. She's seen firsthand what Lumon wants to hide. And that makes her the most dangerous person in this entire game. The question is, what does she really want? Justice? Revenge? Or something else entirely? And remember in Season 1? She literally told the board that reintegration was possible. So, could she already know how it works? Could she have the missing piece that Reintegration doesn't? If Gobel had already cracked the code, Why didn't she act on it sooner? Was she waiting for the right moment, or was she prevented from using it? And if she does have the answer, what does that mean for Mark and the others? Could she be the one to finally set them free, or is she playing a game even more dangerous than Lumon itself? Think about it. Cobell created Severance. She knows the procedure inside and out. If anyone could crack the reintegration puzzle, it's her. And now, after the events of Season 2, she has every reason to turn against Lumon. They betrayed her. They took her inventions and gave her nothing in return. And now? She might want revenge. But revenge alone isn't enough. Cobell is a strategist. She doesn't just react, she plans. If she's truly turning against Lumon, then she's already thinking several steps ahead. Could she be gathering allies? Could she be working on a way to dismantle Severance from the inside? Or, in a shocking twist, could she have her own version of reintegration that's even more effective than Rigabi's? If so, what does that mean for Mark, and is he ready for what comes next? So, what does this mean for Mark? Well, if Cobell steps in, we might finally see a successful reintegration in Season 3. But here's the twist: what if Rigabi was never meant to succeed? What if she was just an experiment herself? Think about it. Lumon is always one step ahead. What if they allowed her to keep trying reintegration just to see what would happen? What if she's been a pawn this entire time? And what if her failures weren't just accidents, but intentional roadblocks placed by Lumon to mislead everyone, including her? Could Rigabi herself be unknowingly following a script written by the very company she's trying to fight? If that's the case, then what does it mean for Mark's future? And more importantly, does anyone truly have control over their own fate in this twisted game? And that leads to an even bigger question: what happens if Mark does fully reintegrate? Because here's the terrifying possibility: what if reintegration isn't the solution, but the real trap? What if Lumon designed it that way? Right now, Mark, Cindy and Audi are two separate people. They have their own thoughts, emotions, and choices. But if they merge, what if that gives Lumon even more control? What if it makes them easier to manipulate? Or, what if it destroys them completely? Another angle we need to explore is Lumon's true intentions. What if reintegration was never about giving the severed employees their freedom? What if it was always about perfecting their control over them? Imagine a scenario where Lumon has been monitoring Rigabi's experiments all along, allowing her just enough room to try but never actually succeed. If that's the case, then Mark's reintegration was doomed from the start. But what if it goes even deeper? What if Lumon engineered the entire concept of reintegration as a false hope, a way to make rebellious employees think they have a way out, when in reality, every step they take is leading them further into the company's grasp? If Lumon can manipulate the reintegration process, they could create employees who believe they are free while actually being more controlled than ever before. Could Mark's struggle be exactly what Lumon planned all along? If that's the case, then the real question isn't whether reintegration failed, it's whether it ever truly existed in the first place. Let's talk about Mark's psychological state. Throughout Season 2, we've seen him struggle with memory flashes, disorientation, and even moments where his personalities almost merge but then snap apart. This raises the question: what if Mark is stuck in a limbo state between integration and separation? Could that be why his two identities still exist separately? If so, then Lumon may have designed the severance procedure to ensure that even if an employee attempts reintegration, they will never be fully whole again. Now, let's bring in the rest of the characters. Helly, Irving, and Dylan. Each of them has been exposed to reintegration in different ways. Helly, for example, learned the brutal truth about her real identity, shattering her sense of self and leaving her questioning everything about her existence. Irving discovered a heartbreaking reality with Bert, realizing that the love he felt inside Lumon may never have a future in the real world. And Dylan, the unsung hero, sacrificed himself to ensure the others got a chance at freedom, leaving his fate uncertain. But where does this leave them? Are they now potential test subjects for Lumon's next phase? Could Lumon have already begun experimenting with reintegration on a broader scale, using these three as unwilling participants? And if so, what horrors might they endure before they even realize what's happening? What if Lumon's real plan is something even more sinister? We know they have advanced technology beyond what's been fully revealed. What if their end goal isn't just about controlling minds, but about erasing the concept of individuality altogether? Imagine a world where severed employees aren't just two separate versions of themselves, but one single entity that Lumon can shape, rewrite, and repurpose as they see fit. No rebellion, no independent thought, just absolute obedience. That would be the ultimate form of control, and it would mean that Mark and the others were never fighting for freedom, they were playing right into Lumon's hands all along. As we head into Season 3, the biggest question remains: can Mark truly break free? If Kobel and Ragabi both have pieces of the reintegration puzzle, can they put them together before Lumon finds a way to stop them? Or will Lumon strike first, ensuring that no severed employee ever finds true freedom? And most importantly, if Mark does succeed, what will he become? A merged, fully aware person? Or something else entirely, something neither Mark nor Lumon ever anticipated? So, what do you guys think? Did Ragabi fail? Can Kobel crack the code? Or is reintegration a lie altogether? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because we are going to keep diving deep into all things Severance. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.